I think we can see clearly today that the message of the gospel leads people back home. We rejoice in that reality that we see playing out before you here at the altar this morning. As people continue to pray, I want to just encourage you that what is happening right now is not reserved for this moment. It's not only for the end of a youth council's weekend. This is for every day. What has happened here today, what has happened in your life over the course of these hours together, take that with you. Take it home. Walk it out each and every day. Stay connected to the Lord. Let the Holy Spirit lead you. Remain changed. Don't go back to what you were. Move forward in the power and the transforming love of Christ. Be who He wants you to be. He calls you beloved. Be encouraged through these scriptures. Make us know your ways, O Lord. Teach us your paths. Lead us in your truth and teach us, for you are the God of salvation. For you we wait all day. Search me and know my heart. Try me, know my anxious thoughts. See if there's anything unholy, anything self-seeking in me, and lead me in the way that honors you. Listen to this from Romans. So here's what I want you to do. God helping you. Take your everyday, your ordinary life. You're sleeping, you're eating, you're going to work, you're walking around in life, and place it before God as an offering. Embracing what God does for you is best. It's the best thing you can do for Him. Don't become so well adjusted to your culture that you fit in without even thinking, but instead, fix your attention on God, and you'll be changed from the inside out. Readily recognize what He wants from you and quickly respond to it. Unlike the culture around you, always dragging you down to its level of immaturity, God brings out the best in you. He develops well-formed maturity in you. Let your Holy Spirit lead us. Do you believe, do you trust that the Holy Spirit can lead you? That He can bring newness out of deadness? That He can transform your life? If you believe that as a declaration, will you join me in singing this song? In Thee, O Lord, do I put my trust. Sing with me. In Thee, O Lord, do I put my trust. In Thee, O Lord, do I put my trust. In Thee, O Lord, do I put my trust. In Thee, O Lord, do I put
my trust. In Thee, O Lord, do I put my trust. In Thee, O Lord, do I put my trust. Your life is proof of God's power. Your lives are proof of God's power. We've seen God's power this morning through your lives. For 150 years, people have seen the power of God in the Salvation Army. A place, a safe haven. People committed to touching lives and conveying hope. As servants, the Salvation Army marches into battle against poverty and fear, violence, abandonment, homelessness, addictions, and all kinds of enemies of mankind. And while it's serving a hurting community, whether it's serving in a natural disaster or a family torn apart, our mission is always straightforward, always been the same, to preach the gospel and to meet human needs in His name, because His power is proved in the life of His people. I don't think it's lost on you that we have unparalleled opportunities to accomplish Christ's mission today. Imagine the power we've seen here going out into the mission field to play a part in God's redemption of the world, witnessing, serving, committing ourselves to His mission. It's important for us as we leave this place to continue to pray with openness to possibility. In Thee, O Lord, do I put my trust today, tomorrow, the next day, the next day. How are You leading me today, Lord? And if You let Him, He will use you. Men and women awakened to Christ, you're mission-minded and action-oriented. If you are that way, you can find amazing opportunity of ministry in the Salvation Army. The need for effective servant leaders is greater than ever, and the Salvation Army is still so incredibly, uniquely positioned to impact the world. Incredibly, uniquely positioned to impact the world. You are, both as local officers and as Salvation Army officers. Is the Lord calling you to lead in the Salvation Army? We spent some time yesterday, my wife and I, with folks from this division who recognize the Lord is calling them to lead in a particular way in the Salvation Army as a Salvation Army officer. And so just now, I highlight them here in this moment so you can see them. They can testify to the Lord working in their life, proof of God's power in their life. There are, along with these folks, there are 24 cadets on the campus of the Evangeline Booth College in Atlanta. 13 of them will complete their 730 days of training in just a few months and can be commissioned in June. 7 more will take their place in August. And seeing them here today, seeing the power of God in their lives today, I wonder if there are others that would testify to this same calling in their life. Are there more that would testify to the Lord calling them to be a Salvation Army officer? If so, come up and join them. Right here on this stage, in this moment, come and join them. It's a unique calling, no doubt. But we want to celebrate you this morning because you tell us that the Lord still wants to use the Salvation Army, and He's still calling men and women to lead in this way, in this particular way.
This is a moment that I just live for. This excites me so much. I get just so fueled by this. I remember pardon my back, but I remember this moment about 15 years ago for me when I was at a youth councils. Now, the Lord called me before I went to that youth councils, but there was this moment in a youth councils about 15 years ago. I was in Tennessee, and I remember I would have been sitting about on that side of the room, and I just felt the Holy Spirit just pick me up, and I went forward, and that was an amazing experience to make that declaration in front of my peers that I had been called to be a Salvation Army officer. But as I took those steps from my seat all the way up here and walked up these stairs, as I stepped on the stage, there was this feeling within me that was something like, I don't have a clue what I'm getting into here. And let me tell you something, I was right. Nothing could have prepared me for the joys I would experience in sharing the gospel with other people and seeing lives changed. Nothing could have fully prepared me for that. And I have not regretted a single day of it. My Jesus has been with me. He's been leading me every single step of the way. You guys encourage us. You encourage us because you are evidence that God has plans for the future of the Salvation Army. And I want to tell you, something happened here in Florida yesterday that I have never experienced as a candidate secretary. Now, when somebody feels a call to become a Salvation Army officer, one of the very first steps is we get some information about them. We have something called a 730 card. Now, we've helped people fill these cards out, Salvation Army soldiers, but yesterday, a junior soldier came to fill out a 730 card. So I had this vision last night, and Corey, where's he at? Corey from Venice. Corey, come here, sweetie. I'm going to make this painless, I promise. Just like Mr. Webb yesterday. Don't worry, don't you worry. Y'all, this is my new friend, Corey. And Corey is 13 years old. He came to the Salvation Army, started about 6 months ago, I hear. He's got wonderful Corps officers who love him, and I saw that yesterday. Corey was enrolled as a junior soldier a week ago? 2 weeks ago. Not that he would forget a day. 2 weeks ago. And yesterday, Corey filled out a 730 card because even at this age, Corey is starting to sense that the Lord wants to do something very special with his life. And so we're going to get a very special glimpse of the future right now. And I'm going to ask my husband to take off his tunic. And I want to just say that quite possibly we have identified your replacement right here. So. Yeah. What do you think? Yeah. So, we want to certainly celebrate the decisions and the commitments that have been made, and we are going to invite this entire group in a moment. If you would, follow Corey. He's the leader at the moment. Right down these stairs and down that aisle, and Lieutenant Colonel Judy Phelan standing right there. You're going to follow her out the back, okay? All of you follow the captain here, okay? All right. Will you join me as they exit, encouraging them?